So we could start this interview by you telling us your name and what you do.
My name's Michelle Mulleneaux, and I'm the CEO and Creative Director of Ashley Mason and Prosperity Denim.
Awesome. And how did you get into the fashion industry to start?
Well, I always as a child knew I wanted to be in this industry, but at 17 I graduated and went to fashion school in Long Beach. And then I took an internship actually in this building, the New Mart, 29 years ago. And so I worked for Jessica McClintock. And from there, I just knew I wanted to stay in this business and get into sales. So thereafter, I was hired on with a large company in the junior market, selling dresses, PM dresses. And from there, it's just been, a great journey. And it's just exciting to see me now 29 years later with my own business. So it was a dream, and certainly 2 years ago when I started the brand, I just kind of went into it thinking that this is what I know and do, so it was natural. And I'm really glad that I took that leap, although it's been difficult at times. It's been really rewarding to see how much I've built this brand in 2 years.
Absolutely, it's a success. I think if it were easy, everyone would be doing it. So it's going to be challenging and push people beyond their comfort zone. And your dedication shows true in your success that it worked out.
Thank you.
Do you feel like your education in fashion gave you the foundation to do everything you've done, or has it been a mixture of education and experience and people you've met? And I mean, how do you feel like you've gotten to where you are?
That's a great question. For me, it's really been about experience. I've worked for some amazing companies. I just, before starting Ashley Mason, I worked 13 years at Tops on Downs and learned a lot from a very strong company there. But the people I've surrounded myself throughout the years have been really instrumental in teaching me and helping me get to where I am today. So I'm thankful for that. I also, my husband's in the business, and I've learned a lot through his experience. But although education is so important, this fashion industry, you really need to get your experience. I worked many years in retail, and then obviously many years now in the wholesale aspect. So from that, I've learned that you can take it all in and use it where you need to, wherever your direction is going to be, if you choose this career as I did.
That's great advice for especially the students that watch our videos or listen to our podcast, because I'll explain to them, don't be concerned with the one-off gig or the job that didn't work out, because it's all compounded experience. So as long as you're learning and growing, don't worry about the specifics, I guess.
Right.
Just fall in. Just literally jump into everything and do your best.
Yeah, I think that's great advice that you give. I know when I started the brand 2 years ago, I really just jumped in. I had no idea what it would take to do what I do now and run a business, and I was really naive. But now that I'm in it, I love it, and I feel it was definitely my destiny. And I have a lot more respect for these manufacturers out there. We work really hard, and designers.
Yeah.
I'm not a designer by trade, I'm a salesperson, and that's what I love to do. But this Ashley Mason and Prosperity Denim has given me new life to find my creative side and really showcase this other side that I really never knew existed in myself. And so I challenge women and men to kind of get out of their box and find their talent. And it ultimately leads to happiness, because it's given me such joy to be able to create this product that my guests, the buyers of these big box retailers and specialty chain stores, come in and they love the aesthetics of the brand, they love the aesthetics of the product. And as that translates through our social media and through down to the consumer, it's really rewarding to see that I'm making a difference. And in such a short time as a business owner to, tap into this market and be competing with these amazing companies in the denim world that I compete with, who work really hard and have allowed me to be in their sandbox with them, is really great. And it's been a nice accomplishment for me. And I'm looking forward to what the future brings. And certainly being in this beautiful building and space, now I just feel like the growth is definitely going to be very exciting for the new year.
Yeah. You said some really beautiful things right there. I mean, just the amount of encouragement you gave to anybody listening or watching this interview that is a little nervous to take that plunge and that next step, or leave the job that is maybe consistent and paying the bills, but it's not their passion.
Right.
And so they're not truly happy, and they take that home with them, and it impacts their relationships. It impacts everything about you when you don't do what you love. I mean, it does. And you just kind of said that it's worth the risk. It's worth the challenge, the hardships, and all of the struggles you may go through, because ultimately it's what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah,
and that's really good for people to hear.
Yeah, it was really difficult to leave my job.
Which is secure, right?
It was
Everything's
secure, but it was, I loved what I did, and I had a great position at my former company, and it was very difficult to leave. But now that I'm 2 years out of it, this is my
what
destiny.
you're supposed to do.
Yeah, this is where I'm supposed to be.
And the appreciation you have for everybody in the chain.
I
think
do.
that story doesn't get told enough,
No,
right? In the press, we hear about designers and the
Yes.
runway shows.
Yes.
We don't hear about like the pattern maker who just killed it with the new fit that she got, and we don't hear about the creatives that are behind.
We don't hear about a lot of things, and I think it's important, especially with social media, that we talk about how everyone's position that goes into making garments. And my husband's in production, and what he does is so difficult and challenging that I admire his hard work, and I admire all of these designers out there, from high end to the junior world, where really we all work so hard, and so I can't say who has it worse or better, but I think there's a lot of respect that goes back to all of us in this garment industry. You have to be smart, you have to be strong, and you have to be able to pick yourself back up when things are difficult and when times are bad. Not everything is good, but I think those of us that are out in the game right now are survivors and work hard. And I commend these owners of the businesses out there. I commend the designers that have to come up with constant new trend and production to execute it. So we're all in this together, and I now have a better appreciation for that than just the selling part of it.
That speaks to the genuine nature of your brand, because it is about the people. It's about who's on your team, who came up with the concept, who's the leader of it. And so when things go sour, just as well as they go, success, people want to know why in each direction. Why is something a success, and why did it, like with, I hate to bring this up as an example, but even Uber, once they got the bad PR, people started asking questions like, who am I supporting? When I call and use their company, who am I keeping in business? So the consumer now is becoming empowered to ask questions. What does this stand for? What do you represent? Who are you as a human? You just basically have shown this great loyalty to the industry and genuine drive and passion for what you do that I'm sure your customers see. not just your retail
Yeah.
line, or not just your retailers, but their customers who buy your product. If you had to give like a snapshot of the Ashley Mason and the Prosperity customer, who would that be? Is it a particular age group, profession, or none of the above?
Right.
Who do you guys speak to?
Well, the Ashley Mason brand, I'd like to think of her as just a classic American girl. But what I love about what I'm doing here and for this brand is I like my product to be for everyone and every size. I do offer plus size in the market, and it does very well. I'd like it to be a playground where everyone feels good to find what they like and fit in what they feel good in.
Yeah.
So for me, that's really important. When I came up with the brand name Ashley Mason, it was very personal to me. I married later in life, and I wasn't able to have children. So Ashley has always been my favorite name, and Mason was a great name to my 2 stepsons that I already have as an addition. So together, connecting it with a little bow or not, but Ashley Mason became a story that my guests, my buyers of the retailers that are out there, really loved the story behind it and understood that as a career woman, your whole life, you don't know how things will be when you find that magical person and you're ready to have a family. So this has been, this has been my baby.
Exactly.
And she's 2 now, and she's just ready to grow and blossom. And Prosperity Denim, again, I like that clean, classic, quality made person attitude, whether it's at work or home. That's what I feel that the brand represents. And Ashley Mason has been a big proponent for on-trend fashion, and that has been a big success of mine in the launch. And so Prosperity has been a nice addition as we get this classic girl in this price point that's affordable. It's $78 retails. With really incredible fabrics that just fit nice and wear well. And so I guess, to sum it up, they're the same. It's just hitting different price points so that it is affordable to whomever wants to explore and buy it. And so with that, I say, the branding will continue to have the genesis of the American classic girl.
I love it.
Yes.
I took from your response that it's all-inclusive. You want people to feel like there is nobody who can't wear the brand. Everyone can wear the brand. That is very special.
Yeah, I think, social media has given me a better understanding of how we all share information.
Absolutely.
In today versus, my generation, where it was very different. You didn't share as much, but maybe there just wasn't that media to do that.
We passed notes, right?
Right, we passed
I
notes.
Passed notes.
Right, yes,
Now they text each other, but I passed notes to my
friends. Yeah,
friends.
that's cute. You know what we did? We passed notes, handwritten.
And then had pagers with codes.
Yes.
143, I love you.
That's funny you brought that up, because even for Valentine's Day, we would give out little notes, and now we just emoji hearts all the time.
Exactly.
I just find that I was really open-minded when I started the brand to learning about how this social media can help and teach me how to be open to everyone. My product's not just in the United States, it's in Australia, it's in Germany. And I really love that you can, find products throughout different countries that mean something to us, and if she likes it, she buys it. And it's just not a California thing or a New York thing, but it's just open playground for everyone.
Yes.
So I love Instagram. I think it's just the best thing ever.
Is that your favorite one of all the
It
social?
is my favorite one.
Me too.
I find it so interesting, and I'm on it every day,
Yeah.
all the time. And I just think that it's the best thing.
Yeah.
So I'm thankful that, for the Ashley Mason LA Instagram address, we have, close to, 5,400,
That's great.
organic,
Right. That's the most important part. I feel like I have to talk about
followers.
vanity metrics with people. I'm like,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter if you have 1 million if you bought them all.
Right,
Like, that
and I
doesn't
look
mean
at
anything.
I look at some of these other companies that have been around longer than I have, and they have, maybe less followers. But the point is their content is still there, and it's
Right.
about their brand. And I think in the beginning it was more about how many followers you can have, but it's
Right.
just how many followers can you keep?
Yeah, and who engages with you?
Who engages, who actually wants to buy from,
Right.
seeing what you're putting on Instagram. And that's been a really good part of learning and knowing how to respond to, if she sees it, where she can
Yeah.
buy it. So with that, in early spring of next year, I will be launching my first website
Okay.
called garmentgirls.com.
Perfect. Okay.
And on garmentgirls.com, it will showcase Ashley Mason and Prosperity Denim
Perfect.
and be, an open forum for, future labels to come.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
So you may turn into a multi-line showroom.
Yes, yeah. I
Wow.
think there's, a lot to tap into.
Of course.
There's a curvy,
Of
fit out
course.
there that
Yeah.
needs its own, and there's, the Missy customer, and
Yeah.
so there's a lot of white space that I think, that eventually just kind of naturally will grow into.
Fun. That's
Yes,
exciting
it's
for you as a
exciting.
professional. No wonder you're excited for the future. Because
Yeah.
you're open to any opportunity
I
kind of
am.
that makes sense for the brand and for
I
you.
am, yeah.
That's fun.
I think
That's
as
fun.
individuals, you need to evolve, and I think,
Yeah.
particularly in today's business with, social media, you have to be able to move and
Yeah.
change, and that's something that I think will be the key to anyone's success in business or life.
I agree.
Because, the minute you become stale is the minute, someone else is taking your spot.
Exactly.
And as a competitive person,
Right.
for so many years in sales, I don't want anyone taking my spot.
Right.
But I'll share my spot.
That's beautiful.
And I think that, this market has allowed me to share their spots with them. And so I'm grateful and thankful for that. But we can all help each other.
Yeah.
And certainly help each other grow.
Yes. What one person does right and the other person does right, you can work together for the
Yeah.
customer to
Yeah,
ultimately
for
have
sure.
a selection. Yeah, I love that ideology of how to look at the industry. I think so many people are more so competitive and
Right.
don't have your values that's sometimes what stops the creativity and the fun
Yeah.
and the growth, because
Yeah, for
nobody can
sure.
really do this alone. I mean, they could
No.
try, but
Trust me,
it's hard.
I'm a person that likes to do it all, but you
Yeah,
can't. I mean,
You won't
I put
sleep.
a lot of A players on my team.
Yeah.
You got to be an A player in
You
this
have to.
business, or you just don't make it.
Yeah.
And I can be very candid about that because, I only want 8 team players,
Right.
and there's just no time.
Yeah. For ego or for mess.
Yeah.
For drama. No, I completely agree with
Right. And just, I like an environment where, like, for instance, my staff just, I let them come and go and get their job done. And
'Cause you trust them.
I trust them, and I don't
That's
like
special.
the 9-to-5
Yeah.
mentality that I grew up on.
Right.
I want them to come in and just, love it and feel
Yeah.
it. And if not, it's okay.
Yeah, then it's maybe not for them, and they know
Right.
that, and they have peace with knowing
Right.
that.
And when you're happy in your job and your lifestyle, then it really shows in your work and productivity. And, building a company in 2 years is, in my opinion, a very,
fast.
short and fast time period. But I'm proud of it because, building a brand is difficult. But with the support of the retailers, it really made it easier. If I wouldn't be here without these amazing retailers behind me. So I thank them, and I'm grateful every day for them. They are my guests, and I try and help them with product for their guests in their stores, and work on the branding and packaging that goes on the product itself. So it's really a fun, creative process. But I think that, in this business, we need to learn from each other and help each other and offer, advice or direction when, our peers need it.
Exactly.
When our retailers need help them. So I'm big on that because I've done that my whole career, but now as the owner, I can do it more.
Awesome.
And quite frequently, whatever is needed, it's great to be able to make that decision versus having to go through, someone else. So I'm proud of that. And I think it's definitely helped. When you help each other, it definitely is a feel-good moment.
Absolutely. For everybody.
For everybody.
I feel like anyone around the process, when they know that that's what the collaboration's genuine and authentic, it makes everyone feel good. Like a good synergy.
Yeah, and I think it's important that we do feel good, especially women. There's mothers out there and they're working, and it's a lot. And although this company's been my baby, I can see from their point of view that there's no time for ourselves.
Right.
And so if we can help each other and manage time and be there for each other, it definitely makes life easier. Yeah.
Everything you've said today is beautiful. I mean, it shows, I think, the viewers and the listeners what you stand for, what the brand represents, and your mission in this industry as a whole. I have 2 questions to wrap this up. One would be a little bit more bland, which is, how can people find Ashley Mason and Prosperity? Websites, social media handles, all that good stuff.
So
you're on Instagram, right?
We are on Instagram. Okay. Ashley Mason LA.
Perfect.
Is that Instagram for Ashley Mason, and for Prosperity, it's Prosperity Denim.
Okay.
Mid-February, we would be launching garmentgirls.com, where you can actually buy the product. Perfect. But on our Instagram, we will call out what retailers currently carry our product, so that is very helpful.
Okay.
And then finding my product out in the market.
Perfect. Yes. And the last, real question I guess I have for you is, we're asking everyone the same question because everyone's answers are so different, but what's been the biggest adventure or part of your journey in the whole experience in your fashion industry? Some people talk about one person they met that changed their entire life, whereas others talk about a general lesson they've learned throughout the whole, if I asked you, what's the most monumental part of your journey, or what's the biggest adventure you've had? Would you have a story to share?
Sure. I would definitely say, to answer your question, that starting Ashley Mason has been the biggest for me. I had no idea how difficult it would be owning your own company and creating a brand and everything that comes in it. So it was life-changing for me, but also really rewarding for me. 27 years selling for very large companies was just something I did and I loved, and I knew it. I did it very well. But when you start to do it on your own, it is definitely a game changer. I encourage, more people to become entrepreneurs.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's important.
Yeah.
But it definitely has been good and bad and taught me a lot of things that I was really naive to. And so today I sit in front of you and I am smarter and knowledgeable in areas that I don't think I ever would have known had I not taken this journey. So I leave you with that to just say that wherever I'm, going to end up, this has been a big joy.
Yeah, that's huge.
So.
Most people spend their entire lives and never make the plunge to start their own business. And for you to say that that's been the biggest adventure of your journey should tell people that it's worth it. It's no matter what you're thinking in your head or what fears you may have, you got to fall right in and just do it.
Yeah, there's more obstacles than you really think
right.
there are.
The world owes us nothing, so they're not going to be kind to us along the way.
No, the world is not kind, and I think I was really naive thinking that it was.
I still think that way, though, because you want to believe the good is out there, without being jaded by it.
Exactly.
But, yeah.
So then I feel like my journey will mean something by me being able to give back and to change that stereotype and to show women out there that even though there are some tough times, you just need to continue to have that goal in mind and get there.
Definitely.
And ask your girlfriends and your men in your life to help you.
Yes.
And your peers that believe in you, and to allow yourself to just keep going and believing in yourself. Yeah. And that's what I continue to do.